Breaking news, a helicopter falls out of the sky and crashes into the Hudson River. Witnesses recording video as it happens.
My heart started beating very fast, and I was just thinking if anybody was alive.
The pilot surviving the crash as quick-thinking ferry workers rush to the rescue.
An outburst on the bus. A man goes on a racist tirade targeting an innocent rider with words and a weapon.
Fighting breast cancer with food, the diet that could help women in more ways than one.
And a puppy on the road to recovery, fighting back after an unthinkable case of animal abuse. Good evening. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. Now on CBS 2 and streaming on CBS New York. Breaking news on Manhattan's West Side. A helicopter crashes into the Hudson River, and the pilot, who was the only one on board, had to deploy emergency floats.
Crews pulled the chopper out of the water and placed it on a barge a short time ago, and now the barge is on the move. These are live pictures from Chopper 2. The helicopter there headed off to an unknown location for inspection and the investigation. CBS 2's Jessica Layton live now with the latest. Jessica.
Maurice and Christine, talk about some really tense moments out here in a situation that so easily could have become a tragedy. And it seems at this point the pilot did everything that he could to save lives. He refueled and then we're told took off. And as soon as he got into the air, we're told he realized something wasn't right and he knew he was going to crash land. But he chose to do it in the waters of the Hudson River rather than a helipad that was nearby but too crowded and the West Side Highway just feet away. It's the picture worth 1,000 sighs of relief. The pilot standing on top of his helicopter, alive and okay. Sources say the 35-year-old had just refueled and was taking off to get to the other side of the platform, over the water, when the aircraft suddenly lost altitude.
It happened so quickly you couldn't even believe what happened.
A helicopter hovering over the Hudson caught the eyes of people out enjoying the view of the water from the High Line. But they were not expecting the harrowing moments that followed.
It did like a spin. I guess the wind caught it and it just went right into the river. Everybody turned around and somebody said a helicopter just crashed.
Jack Lincoln of Middletown, New Jersey was taking video of the helicopter taking off. Various witness video shows the chopper spinning in the air before the big splash into the water seconds later.
I heard a big loud sound and then it started spinning out of control and coming down back into the water. And that's when the airbags deployed.
Tail backward, that's when he deployed his bags. It was actually pretty amazing. I thought it was kind of controlled of how slow it was at first, and then we saw the panic from the crews.
We were about to cross the street and we saw the helicopter. I think it was trying to depart and it was not moving, not up and not down, just sideways.
This Manhattan mother is still shaking as she recalls seeing that helicopter begin its plunge.
My heart started beating very fast, and I was just thinking if anybody was alive.
The pilot's a male, 34 years old. He only suffered an injury to his left hand. There was a dock worker that was attempting to get out of the way of the helicopter and was coming down, slipped, and injured his right wrist.
And so unbelievable, it's worth repeating. That pilot, 35-year-old Eric Morales, suffering only a cut to his hand. Another worker was injured, but everyone's expected to be okay. We're told the pilot is still nearby being interviewed by authorities. We have not yet had a chance to speak with him. We're live on the West Side tonight. Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
Looking forward to hearing from him. Jessica, thank you so much.
And just like the miracle on the Hudson, ferries from New York Waterway quickly came to the rescue.
CBS 2's Valerie Castro spoke with two of those heroes. She is live now in Weehawken. Valerie.
And Maurice and Christine, the New York Waterway ferry crew who made the rescue say it was the last trip of the day across the river to Manhattan when they saw the helicopter fall into the water. Captain Adam Sciano and deckhand Edwin Montoya say they immediately headed straight for the helicopter and made the announcement to the 8 passengers they had on board. They say they tried to approach as steadily as possible, not to rock the helicopter in the water. The pilot had already climbed out and was standing on one of the yellow flotation devices waiting to be rescued. They pulled up and dropped a ladder into the water to help him to safety.
It happened so quick. I mean, we just go in and do what we have to do. Just like it was like another day at work.
So we approached him very slow. He was very calm. And we put him up on the ladder. He just climbed out to the boat. I asked him the same question 3 times. He was okay. He was injured. He was somebody else on a helicopter. It was okay.
Both men were very nonchalant when we asked them about today's rescue. They say being there in an emergency situation is just part of their everyday duties. The captain says this is his second water rescue in the last 10 years. Reporting live from Weehawken, New Jersey, Valerie Castro, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Valerie, thank you. As we told you, the remains of that chopper on a barge right now, destination unknown. Chopper 2 is overhead. Dan Rice, what do you have?
Well, Maurice, we can kind of fill you in a little bit there and give you an update there that they are bringing the helicopter to Brooklyn. It looks like that boat there, that's a U.S. Army Corps of Engineer boat that lifted that helicopter, or what remains of it, out of the Hudson River and onto its deck. As we zoom in a little bit there, you can see that's a Bell 206 helicopter, Long Ranger model, which is actually very similar to what we fly here as Chopper 2. And you can see the back tail boom, the tail boom of that chopper, missing off the aircraft. One piece of the main rotor system, we can see the blade on the deck there. A little surprised but how well preserved the cabin area is, which is probably why the pilot was able to escape with relatively minor injuries. But again, the yellow things underneath the helicopter, those are the flotation devices helping keeping the helicopter at water's level. The good thing is that the pilot had the presence of mind to be able to inflate that as he was spinning out of control going down towards the water. So obviously this story could have been a lot worse than it turned out to be, but now it's up to the NTSB. They will take control of that helicopter once the FDNY is done with it, and they will do their investigation to find out exactly what happened. Reporting live in Chopper 2, Dan Rice, CBS 2 News.
Dan, you're a veteran of New York's airways, and you just said you fly a chopper similar to that one. What are your thoughts? What are the first things that go through your mind as you see the way the pilot handled it? What do you think might he have been fighting? What are your thoughts?
First off, the pilot did an excellent job to be able to survive that crash the way he did. Yes, we've seen these before, unfortunately. One with the flotation, I'll put it to you this way: if he was refueling from refueling the helicopter, repositioning the helicopter, there was not a lot of time from the time he picked that helicopter up until he lost control of it, which means he didn't have a lot to work with momentum of the helicopter. So to be able to have the presence of mind to inflate the floats on the helicopter the way he did, to keep it above water, that in itself is a testament to the training that pilot received from the people who own that helicopter company. As far as what could have happened, it's so hard to tell because the way he was spinning, that kind of gives you an impression that the tail rotor didn't do its job, but what caused that problem, that we don't know yet. The tail rotor is a part of the helicopter that keeps it from spinning out of control. So what caused that issue? Unfortunately, Maurice, we don't know it just yet.
You bet, Dan, but thank you so much. Clearly, the pilot did one heck of a job in simply surviving and making this story have the kind of ending that it has. All right, Dan, thank you. We'll talk to you some more throughout the broadcast.
You got it.